What's up, guys? I think we have to have a little chat. What's up, guys? So this particular thing has happened a few times, and I just want to take a minute to really just have a little chat with you guys and explain to you guys a little something. And yeah, so obviously I've made my Facebook page public. My personal Facebook page, and you guys have been finding me and adding me. And again, if you want to add me, I'll put a link down below. I have no problem with you guys adding me on Facebook. At one point, I did have it private and hidden away so that I could just keep up with family and friends. But as time goes on, I'm realizing that that's hard to do, even if I have just family and friends, and real family and friends have my number and whatnot, so they could get a hold of me. Right, so what's been happening is some of you guys have been coming on my personal Facebook page and, liking my posts or whatever, and then some of you have been messaging me, right? Now, I don't mind answering some questions. Why not, Where it becomes an issue is, if I'm busy, right? So, over the past few weeks, it's happened a few times where I'm in the middle of something. Like, I'm in the middle of pinstriping something, I'm in the middle of sanding. I was doing the bed liner and one of the things, and my hands were all covered in bed liner stuff, and I'm busy, right? Like, I was doing something, and then somebody starts blowing up my phone with questions and stuff. Now, like I said, I don't mind, right? I don't mind questions and whatnot. The problem comes in that I have the videos, right? There's tons of videos on this channel, and I want you guys to take advantage of those videos, right? Those videos are there to help you. They have lots of answers, and I've shown every step of the process, whether it's from prep to clear coat. I have a video on it somewhere in those videos. So when you bombard me with questions, and they're questions that I have already answered, not just in one video, in multiple videos, and it even stems back to the whole, what paint do you use? Like I said, I don't mind. Like, I'll answer you if I'm not busy. Sometimes people message me. I'll be hanging on the porch, drinking a lemonade or whatever. Sure, I'll just reply, tell you what you need to know or whatever. Other times I'm busy. I'm just like, hey man, if you could, go watch the videos. I have a video on it. Please just watch the video. That's all I ask, and it's for your own benefit. In the videos, I can describe and I can show you what you want to know a lot better than me responding in a text message. It also takes less time of mine, right? So right now, I am free time is very limited. The free time I have today, I'm using it to record this video. I'll probably very minimally edit it. I'll set it to upload while I'm working. And then I'll come back later and press publish. I have this much time left, right? Like, I'm very running low on time. It's just been busy, it's been good, and I have no complaints. I just want you guys to understand that the reason I make all these videos is to help you, right? If I don't answer your Facebook message or whatever it is, your email or something, it's more than likely because I have a dedicated video for that question, and you haven't watched it. A lot of these messages come with the same pretext, the same, hey, before you read my email, I'm a big fan, I've been watching your channel for years, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll ask, what paint do I use for shirts? What paint do I use for hoods? Stuff like that. And it's that double-edged sword. They're like, oh, I like to hear that you've been watching me for 2 years, but then on the other hand, it's like, you didn't learn anything in those 2 years if you're still asking me the same questions. And it's that whole thing of, I can't help somebody if they ain't gonna help themselves. And like I said, I've put out all the videos, all the information is there. And some of you guys out there have literally taken all that information, soaked it in, And I've seen some of you guys that were in the chats and you know, dropping comments before, and now I look at your Facebook profiles or your business page or whatever, and I'm like, wow, that guy really took what I gave him and he ran with it. Like, he's doing shoes now, he's doing hats, he's doing badass shirts, he's doing cars, right? That's what I want you to understand, is that all the information is there. I'm not trying to be an asshole by not answering your questions. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to break your spirit or whatever. All these messages that I've got, that it's just like, it's a little bit absurd, right? I've said it from the beginning. I've said it from all time. I want there to be more airbrush artists. But at the same time, I can't baby feed you every single piece of information, right? I can't sit here and be like, you gotta use sandpaper and make sure you degrease it and make sure you wipe it down with a tack cloth and make sure you spray evenly and make sure you don't over wet it and make sure this and I can't sit here and baby feed every single one of you, right? I wish I could. I wish I had the time to do that, right? Then a bunch of you would be heading out this door ready to airbrush anything, and it would be crazy cool, but I can't do that. Even if I had a class of 20 of you, I wouldn't be able to just go through every single person and give them. I would give you a sheet, you would have to read that sheet, and then we would go over it together as a class, right? I can't individually teach you guys. And on that point, I've said this to a lot of people over the past months, I am not your personal tutor, right? I have all these videos so that you can learn, and I want you guys to learn as much as possible. But if I don't answer your question, or if I say go watch the video, that's what it is. It's like all the stuff is there. Like, I've already made it. It's like I put out a book, but then you're asking me what's in the book. Go read the book, right? Like, I can't do much more than that. And again, I just have to make this video to let you guys know, like, all that is there. Go back through the videos. If you want to see something, go learn it. A lot of the questions have been like, how do you sand something? How do you prep it? I have a video called How to Airbrush a Motorcycle. In there, I talk about prep. I talk about wiping it off, degreaser, all that stuff. Createx also has a video that says how to prep for airbrushing. Very simple. And they talk, Chris explains it in high detail. Everything you're gonna need and want to get your airbrush stuff to stick. Clear coat. A lot of people ask about clear coat. I've talked about this a bunch of times. I've used every single can of clear coat there is. I've used PPG clear coat. I use House of Colors right now because I really love their USC01 show clear. It's really nice. I've used the Wanda 2K clear with great results. Like the Camaro has Wanda 2K clear, and it's super shiny. You can see all the reflections. It's a beautiful car, right? It's all going to depend on what's available in your area and what's there. Most of them are comparable. So when you see me use the Wanda 2K clear and I explain it, you could probably get another 2K clear, follow more or less the same directions. Make sure you read the manufacturer's directions before you follow any of my instructions, right? But you have to read, you have to learn. I am not going to spoon feed you the information, right? I can do as much as I can in the video and try to describe it and try to show it, but it's up to you to take what's in the video and practice it, right? I cannot stress it enough that I'm a person. I have a life. I have a job, you know, like a job away from airbrushing. Yeah, kinda, because it's still airbrushing, but it's a job. And yeah, like I have a normal life. I have family. I have responsibilities. I want to have my own free time, which is more important than anything. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys also, all your support and your enthusiasm. And I really wish all of you guys have a really good time airbrushing and you're able to take it and, you know, whether it's a hobby, whether you're trying to get into a business, whether you just want to airbrush stuff for yourself, all the information is there. I want you guys to please just look it up. Even if it's not my video, right? Just type it in the freaking search. Type it into Google. How do you prep? How do you do clear coat? Which clear coat is better? Not only is there my videos online now, nowadays we have tons of guys sharing their information, right? I'm not the only one. There's other guys out there that also share the information. Now, on the other flip coin of that, when I started making all these videos, let's not forget everything about airbrushing, literally just about everything was behind a paywall. You had to pay, you had to buy a DVD, you had to get a subscription to Airbrush or Coast Airbrush or Airbrush Action or whatever it was. You had to pay. There was no free information. You could go and buy the magazine and it would have pictures and stuff, and you would have to learn that way. You could go and buy a book, different ways. Now the information is free. All you have to do is find it, right? That is way more than anything I could have asked for when I was learning, right? When I was learning, I had to sneak and sneevel and find ways of doing what I wanted to do because there was no free information. I don't come from money. I couldn't afford magazines, yada yada. I couldn't buy all that stuff. So I had to learn from actually going into shops, asking questions from people directly to their face, or just watching. Like, oh, I'm gonna airbrush this car. They're prepping it right now for me. I would pay attention, right? I'm gonna airbrush this bike, the shop is doing this, that, I would go in a day early just to see how they're doing it. And that's how I've learned over the years, right? Is by actually doing it. So I don't want you guys to have to go through that because that is the slowest way to learn, to be honest with you. It was rough in the beginning. It was really rough and I had to figure out a lot of stuff for myself. But on that note, I do want you guys to figure out some stuff for yourself. I need you to go out there and find that information and not just solely rely on me. Most of the information that you guys asked for is available through the paint manufacturer, right? So if you want to learn how to apply a certain clear coat, find the clear coat you like, go to the manufacturer's website, and 9 times out of 10, they will have instructions on how to apply that. If you're interested about Createx paint, Createx has a great website, like better than most manufacturers, called creatextech.com. You go there, every single line of paint that they have, Wicked, Regular, Illustration, their Cenex line, and all those paints, they all have different instructions. They tell you what they can be used for. They tell you if they're sun, UV resistant. All that stuff is there. It's a reason why I have that before every stream, right? It says Createx Tech. I proudly use Createx paints for my work. For info on using Createx, please visit creatextech.com. I have this banner here, right? And I wear the Createx shirts. I do not work for Createx, right? I use their paints. I'm a user of their paints. But I am in no way qualified to tell you what Createx can do. There is a lot of stuff that Createx can do that I don't do. Right? Like I don't use their Cenex line. I don't paint a lot of outdoor murals. I don't, I do a lot of t-shirts and I do a lot of automotive type stuff. So I use the Wicked line, I use the t-shirt line. And I use them in pretty specific ways. And sometimes I'll venture out of that a little bit, but not too much. So on that website, there's lots of information. Every other paint manufacturer has some sort of information. If it's not on the bottle itself, it will be on their website, or you could order a manual, whatever. And like I said, as a last resort, search on YouTube, right? Somebody else might have already made a video using that same paint, showing you how to get good results, and you could follow along from there. The worst thing to do is you're having issues and you just go and yell at somebody like me that has the video, but you didn't watch it, right? Or you watched it, but more like skimmed over it. You just got the parts you wanted and that was it. You didn't pay attention to the small things in between, like make sure you wipe it off. A lot of people miss that. A lot of people just see me sand, they wipe it off with a rag, and then they go to paint, and then they got a bunch of specks in their paint, and they're wondering why. You know, in the video, I it might be brief, but I do say degrease it, wipe it off with a tack cloth before you start painting. Make sure you don't get your fingerprints on it. That's another big one. Like I've explained all these things in various videos. I really don't want to make like a dedicated video, like how to sand, how to clear coat, how to do this, because it's all gonna vary from thing to thing, from place to place, from project to project. It's all going to be a little bit different, right? If you're clear coating a hood, a large car hood, right, you can have these big old long strokes to go across, whether you're doing it sideways or whether you're doing it all the way across. If you're doing a motorcycle, tank's about that big. Short strokes, right? You're doing a wall, a big mural, maybe you just roll on the clear to get it nice and thick, nice and heavy, right? You want that mural to last, so you just roll it on. It's gonna change from project to project, and that's why I can't just sit and make a video like this is what you do. Because then somebody's gonna take that video and try to use it in a way that it's not meant to be used. And I've seen that too. Hey, I did what you said, but I did it on this and it didn't work. And I said, well, yeah, because I was doing it on this and that's how you do it on that. If you're doing it on this, it's different. Trial and error is a big, big thing as well. I recommend all of you guys practice. A lot of messages I've also gotten is, hey, I have a customer, I'm going to be painting this and that, and I just don't know how to do it. That is a big no-no, right? Do not take any project if you do not know how to do the project, right? So I've had a few people message me about Lumalure. Hey, I took a Lumalure project and, I was just wondering, how do you do it? Why would you take the Lumalure project if you don't know how to do it, right? I know how to do Lumalure. I am in no position to make a video on how to apply Lumalure, right? There's lots of reasons. Lumalure is electric, so there's risk of shock, there's risk of fire, it's expensive, and there's risk of messing it up. So your whole thing, like even if you follow the steps and if you miss one little thing, that whole project's not gonna light up. There is too much information for me to portray through a video and too much risk for me to be like, do it. And then you go and you burn your house down or something. And then you're like, hey, I just followed Mike's steps, right? There is a reason I went to take a class to try to learn how to do it properly and with supervision instead of just sitting in my garage and maybe possibly doing some damage. Because it's very possible with Lumalure, right? You're working with paint. The paint is electrified. And yes, I've had stuff when I'm Lumaluring it here in the shop and it sparks. So please, all I ask, all this video is about is just, I like you guys. I want you guys all to succeed, but you have to help yourself before you come screaming at me that, how do you do it, right? I wish I could help each and every one of you individually, but it's quite hard. I don't have the time for it. I don't have the patience to deal with people who have not watched it or didn't pay attention, right? I have all the videos there, and if you tell me you're a big time fan and you love my work, blah, 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 but then you ask me, oh, but what paint do you use on shirts? What do you recommend? It's like the information is there, right? I can only do so much for you. From there, you're gonna have to do some work yourself, some learning yourself, and move on. Now, that's all I gotta say. So please, the videos are there. Just go back and watch the videos. They're older, they're maybe not as high quality, whatever. But what I'm saying and what I'm doing in those videos still applies till today. And as we go forward, of course, there'll be more projects and there'll be more times that I'm going to explain it. There's going to be lots of projects that I start from completely from scratch, right? And you'll watch me build up the whole project. If you pay attention on like Instagram or my Facebook page, the actual Mike's Brush Facebook page, you might see me go like, oh, here's the primer. Here's the primer, you know, sanded or whatever. And then here's how I started this project. Like, it happens, right? Not everything goes directly to YouTube. If you pay attention on some of these other pages, sometimes I do show some of that stuff before getting started. But I do have videos already today, right now, that you could search that show you how to go from prep, all the way to prep, to finish. And it have everything in between. And I just want you guys to watch them, to pay attention, and, you know, learn. I can't, there's so much information. I can't put it all and just download it onto your brain. I wish that was possible, but it's not. And I just want to, you know, reiterate, you guys might have to do a little work in order to learn. I'm not trying to rag on nobody or anything like that. It's become kind of an issue, and yeah, I love all you guys. I wish you all the best. But please, just watch the videos and pay attention. And if you have a question, please drop it in the comments. You know, my personal Facebook page, I do use it. I do watch the messages and whatnot. But sometimes blowing me up on Facebook, and some of you guys will send like 7-10 messages before I even reply. You know, if I haven't gotten around to reading the first one, I'm probably not going to read all 10 messages. Like, that's it. I'll open it and be like, whoa, and then just close it. Like, okay, I don't know what that person's talking about. I'm very sorry. That's just the way it is. I can only do so much for you. You have to do some of it yourself. So, again, I appreciate all your guys' support over the years. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep it moving. We have tons of stuff. We have airbrushes for the next giveaway. We have stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff going on here. Not to mention the work that I have to do. There's work sitting right behind the camera right now that I have to get to. So be cool, guys. I wish you all the best. Happy painting, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, everybody.